I think, from everybody's talk today, what I'd like to highlight in the few minutes that I have is that it's really important to identify the minority or the group under pressure that we're trying to help through human rights. Um, there are certain images and certain fixations, let's say fetishes in the West about Muslim women, which is one of my foci. Um, for example, when I first Googled an image of a Middle Eastern woman, this is what came up on Google. A sense of exotica, no relationship to how all women dress, and more importantly, a total disregard of women's diversity in each society in Middle Eastern and Muslim countries. Um, this is the Google image is important because we're always thinking of those women in particular. I know that there were comparisons earlier on in this panel, but in particular, Muslim women tend to be viewed as oppressed and tend to be viewed as having no agency. Well, I wish to basically shed some light, some historical light on the differences that different societies have. Not only are there differences between societies, but within the same society, as we shall see, there are also differences. One of the first feminists in the 1800s was a person by the name Qasim Amin in Egypt. And he was the first feminist because obviously women were writing too, but only men were allowed to publish. So he became allegedly the first feminist. Also, women who were active in political life, like Huda Sha'rawi, Cezanne Barawi, her assistant. Those are a group of women from the Egyptian Feminist Union in session in that day and age. They marched in 1919 as part of the national movement against British occupation. This is another feminist, Doria Shafiq, who requested women's suffrage and went into hunger strike and was imprisoned and eventually committed suicide. This is a contemporary feminist, Nawal al-Saadawi of Egypt. She's well known to have brought the FGM, female genital mutilation issue, as a physician to the forelight. Nobody was talking about it before. Okay, so there are many examples of different slices of society that bring about how we misperceive uh, um, feminism and the rights of women in the Muslim world. Now, this is a more recent, relatively recent picture of the Egyptian women in protest in January of 2011. Regardless of, like, you can see here with headgear or without headgear, they were, violated in many ways. As you can see here, the police standing in front of this woman. Um, Here you also see police harassment of an unveiled woman. And last but not least, this is a brutal attack on a woman uh, uh, who was, her clothes came apart, and she was well known during the protests and the Arab Spring as the Blue Broad Woman. She wore a head cover. My take from all of this is, first of all, we need to know that our perceptions, our judgments of other societies are not always accurate and inclusive. That's number one. Number two, as you can see from most of my pictures, those women, even though they attempted to change things for women, mostly they were elitist. whether we talk about Huda Sha'rawi, Siza Nabarawi, Duriya Shafiq, all those women come from an elitist background, white gloved societies, French speaking, and therefore we miss connection with the majority of the women and what they want and what they need. And this is extremely important when we talk about human rights. This is extremely important when we're trying to rectify and help others. For example, the Harvard Islamic Legal Program has a whole webinar about women and family law. Now, this is a huge concern for most Muslim women, okay? As opposed to our, like I said, constant focus on the headgear or the veil when it comes to Muslim women. Last but not least, Egyptians always try to joke. So, oh, and one last picture. This is of a presidential candidate as a result of the Arab Spring and opening up the political scene. You know, women also participated. But on the joking side of things, a lot of Egyptians thought that we should remove the eagle and put the blue bra instead of the eagle on our flag. Thank you.